All right, here we go. Quiet! Roll 'em!
Crisis on Infinite Earth. Now, the CW and DC did something really amazing. If you don't know what it is, it's basically the biggest comic book crossover ever. I mean, they don't just cross over, no, it's basically they started with all the, the CW shows, The Flash, Arrow, Batgirl, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, not just them crossing over, and work and scene together in scenes. They cross over past movies, animated characters. Everybody's here. Almost everybody, but still, this is the biggest crossover they ever made. We get Tim Burton's universe acknowledged in here. We get the Adams West Batman acknowledged in here. We get the Titan show acknowledged in here. We got the Brandon Routh Superman acknowledged in here. I mean, the crossover is so epic and so awesome, you really should check it out. Now, the main plot of all of the series is that the antimatter has released this big shockwave of cosmic matter, which is destroying every infinite world, and not just their worlds of the CW show, every multiple verses, all the multiverses. So we would get then scenes like from Tim Burton's Batman, we will get a scene with characters from the movie. We also get Batword back for a few seconds, as Robin in the future and stuff. All those possibilities, all those worlds. And the fun thing is, every world has a number. So for example, Tim Burton's world number is 89, and for the Adams West Batman world is 66. So it's this great callbacks, and little jabs what they have, and it's really awesome. Like I said, the antimatter released this big cosmic wave, which is destroying all the multiverses, and the heroes are assembled, and they know from the matter that they have to find 7 pentagons. The pentagon of love, of strength, of courage, of knowledge. You need to find all the 7 pentagons, because only those 7 pentagons will be able to save the universe, from destruction of all of it. And this is where we get, all our CW heroes, and this is where we get all our superheroes involved, going from verse to verse. Darrow also plays a big role in this series, and I like all the character arcs. My favorite character arc was, I would say, is Arrow. I really like what they did with him, even though I never watched Arrow, Superman, Batgirl, or The Flash, none of the shows. But after watching Crisis on Infinite Earths, I really want to start watching those shows, because the characters are so great and the series was so well written that it really wants me to check out all the other shows and before. And I really like what they did with Green Arrow, with his arc. There was a lot of depth, there was a lot of heart in it. I love what they did with the Flash in the series. There's also, because in the Flash series you have the original Flash from the TV show from the 70s or 80s, I think. He's in there, and they give his character a great send-off. I like what they do with Supergirl. Now, the Batgirl is also very good, so I don't know about the show, but the actress Batgirl is actually good, and all the characters together really have some good chemistry around it. But what I was really excited for is like they show in the trailer, we get Tom Welling back. I mean, Smallville is back. We get to see his story continue, and it was awesome. It was awesome. I wish there would be more, but it still was awesome to see Tom Welling back as Clark Kent. It was just awesome and amazing. We even got Brandon Routh from the 2006 movie Superman Returns. Now, I like that movie still. It was more hopeful than Man of Steel, where it was just destruction all over. But like I said, I got my Brandon Routh Superman action figure right here, and I love what they do with him. He gets to see play Superman again, and it was just amazing. But I think the biggest step was, except for bringing back those actors, is to have Kevin Conroy, the best Batman in history, to play finally Batman on screen. Kevin Conroy, Batman from the animated show. He's the best Batman voices. I love this Batman, and he finally gets to play Bruce Wayne on screen, and it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. This is something for every DC fan, comic book fan, just from the animated Batman series. So just to see him portraying the character in the live action, interacting with, Batgirl and all the other heroes, it was just awesome, and I love what they did with this character. I really have to give props to CW and DC for making this, because the writers said they really want to acknowledge every world. Now, they don't acknowledge Christopher Nolan's world. I don't know why. Maybe they were allowed to or anything. But still, even the mentions and scenes and cameos that we see in this Crisis Infinite series is just amazing enough. Now, Marvel is amazing. I mean, but Marvel is great, but, they just acknowledge their world that they built, from 2008 2008, but they acknowledged past worlds, animated shows, everything. It was really awesome, overwhelming to see, you know, as a lifelong superhero and DC fan. So I was really excited. I don't really have much downpours of this series. Like sometimes an episode here or there, some story, because there are many story parts going. You know, you have some story parts just with Oliver, with Arrow, then we have with Supergirl and the Flash, and then with just Batgirl because they kind of scatter out. Some of the storylines are a little bit boring, not always go everywhere, but still interesting enough. Like with some minor characters, they might be not as well, you know, executed, or you know, they might start something but then it goes kind of away, but it was still entertaining to see. I really like this version of Lex Luthor from the CW shows. He was edgy, he was funny, he was intelligent, and he really did something that Lex Luthor does. Like there's something happens on episode 4 with Brandon Routh's Superman. That's all I'm gonna say. And I was just like, oh, you like, because like you wanted to see the character, but to do this one change around, and it was just like, ooh, it's something Lex Luthor would definitely do. But I was like, oh, come on, man, we wanted to see that character. Even though they do all those big crossovers, you know, from going from different worlds and everything, they still do a good job of maintaining a main storyline. Like even though the characters go off in different routes and everything, the storyline still continues and is cohesive. You know, it doesn't trip on itself, it doesn't go all over places. So they really did a good job, you know, with retaining a good storyline, you know, with all the characters and with good character arcs. The CGI is something not as good, but you know, it's a TV show, so it's not going to be that great. Like when you have the villain's army, you know, like these floating ghosts and stuff, you can see it's CGI, but it's fine. You know, they're on a TV budget. I mean, if they would have a movie budget, it would probably look even better. But like I said, the biggest joy of seeing this series is like all this crossover. I mean, they even cross over to the DCEU. Like the TV Flash have a scene with the Flash from the, you know, from the DCU verse, from the Zack Snyder verse with Ezra Miller. Like they even managed to pull that off. They do stuff in here that only like fanboys and fans have been dreaming of to see. You know, to see this hero, to see 2 superheroes. We get 3 Supermans, and this is just like amazing, you know, Superman being my favorite and all. So I must say, you know, I really like Crisis on Infinite Earth. It's a great series. Really go check it out. And I'm going to start watching all the other shows. You know, like this really, after watching this, it really wants me to watch all the other shows, because it was just amazing. Even though I've seen none of the previous shows, I still continued and understand all the characters, you know, and the character arcs and the motivations and the choices that they made. So that was done very well. I'm gonna give Crisis on Infinite Earths a 9 out of 10. Go check it out. It's really great. If you're a big DC fan, if you love, you know, if you love the animated series, you love Tim Burton, if you love the 1966 Batman version, like, go watch this series. It's satisfying, and the all over closing of characters, you know, and setting up new characters. It was really awesome. So thanks everybody for watching. Hope you get done. As always, see you next time.